Kim Taylor's attorney says that they will wait until after sentencing to decide whether to appeal her conviction.
A federal jury returned guilty verdicts against the wife of Woodbury County Supervisor Jeremy Taylor on 52 counts of voter fraud on Tuesday. She faces up to 5 years in prison on each of those counts. Taylor was found guilty of illegally filling out voting materials and forging signatures on voting affidavits. Jeremy Taylor was not charged, but prosecutors maintain he was an unindicted co-conspirator.
Two of Jeremy Taylor's fellow Woodbury County supervisors are calling on him to resign and to give up his spot as vice chairman of the board. Chairman Matthew Ung told KTIV he believes Kim Taylor was set up to take the fall for Jeremy Taylor. Ung attended Tuesday's supervisors meeting virtually, but Jeremy Taylor actually chaired the meeting. Supervisor Mark Nelson is also calling for Taylor's resignation. In a statement to KTIV after yesterday's meeting, Nelson said in part, at a time when so many are questioning the validity of their vote, this type of conduct only deepens the very real concern among our countrymen. Nelson and Ung are both Republicans, as is Jeremy Taylor. KTIV reporters asked Jeremy Taylor for an on-camera comment on his wife's conviction last night before he went into a closed section with the supervisors and the LEC authority. He then went on to act as the chairman of the Board of Supervisors as Matthew Ung was out of the country. No mention of the conviction made during the around 3-hour regularly scheduled supervisors meeting. We then asked him again for an on-camera interview regarding the conviction as well as actions taken in the supervisors meeting. He declined again, but said he would send a statement.
Jeremy Taylor had this to say in that statement to KTIV. He said, quote, "While this was certainly not the outcome we were hoping for, we respect our court system that allowed the jury to hear my wife's side of the story. We are thankful for our friends, family, and community who know us best and have stood by our side," end quote.